When you found out that you got the role for X-Men,
Yeah.
were you kind of, did you know which role, like did they audition you for a couple of things, or did you always audition for Hank? Was
no, I always auditioned for Hank. So yeah, I did. I was going to try and think of more to say, but
was there something like that you had to prepare for? Like, did you have to be a little more physical, or did you wear a blue suit to the audition, or is it like?
I did. What did I wear to the audition? I know to the screen test I did wear a blue shirt because I thought this could swing it for me.
That was the way,
and it worked. So there's a fine line between dressing for an audition towards the character and overdoing it. I think I walked a fine line there of just hinting towards the colour of the beast's skin later on, but without overdoing it. If I'd turned up in a full suit and had done my own makeup and stuff, I think it would have been a little bit odd.
I think that would have been cool, but that's just me. I'm not a director.
Yeah,
so
no, you do hear great stories sometimes about people turning up for auditions, and I've thought about doing it before and just going full hog and just seeing what people say. Turning up, dressed as a zombie or whatever for a zombie audition and just see how people react. But then you could really misjudge it because you don't really know these people very well when you start.
When you work with somebody like Matthew, he has this reputation of being he makes these very muscular type films, and he's very hands-on in terms of I don't know, but this is a reputation. So when you're working on a film like that, what was your experience like working with him, and was it different from other directors that you've worked with in the past?
Yeah, Matthew makes very slick, fun films, entertaining. They're quick and well put together, and the story is always very entertaining. So there's working with Matthew on set. He's got so many things to juggle. He can be direct, and he knows what he wants, and he gets it. And there's no faffing around. If you're rubbish and he doesn't believe what you say, he'll let you know, and you try again, and you just try and do your best for him.
You have a lot of scenes with Jennifer, and so what was it like working with her? And because maybe both of you didn't have this background in doing big budgeted kind of crazy films like this, was it almost like you were on the same boat in the sense that like, oh, what are we, like during lunchtime, was it like, what am I doing here?
What's going on?
Yeah.
I think that we were in the same boat, Jennifer and I, and Jason Fleming as well, in the sense that we had the long makeup calls. Jason and my makeup would take 4 hours, and Jen's would either take 8 hours for the longest one, or 4 hours as well. So it was we're in the same boat in that sense. But yeah, there were some really nice, well-written scenes between Hank and Raven, in the sense that they're these young people who are trying to fit into the world, but feel alone, and then they finally meet someone who understands them and gets them, and they can talk to about it. So they obviously strike it off, and then their relationship develops from there. Your
storyline definitely is like more about being different and trying to fit in and stuff. Did you kind of, I don't know, did you relate to that in the sense that when you read that on the screen, did that kind of did that read really well on the script?
Yeah, completely. There's the character read very well in the script, because obviously there was lots of research beforehand of comics and stuff, so you knew who the character was. But I think as a standalone, when you read this script, you get a sense of Hank, early on, and the character he was, and ends up being later on in other films. So there was it was all there on the page in many ways, and that isolated feeling is something that everyone experiences at some point.
You got a really awesome fight sequence. So how was that kind of to shoot, and were you prepped for it prior? Did you kind of train really hard to?
There was a lot of training. There was a montage, Rocky sequence, and yeah, the fighting. I think that final action sequence, some of the stunts they were doing, with the flying of Angel and Banshee, you watch it, and they were doing this stuff for real. They've got people dangling from two helicopters whilst they're chasing each other, and it's like mad. A few feet off the ocean. It's things that you have to be insane to do. But the fights are always fun, jumping around, and I'd worked with Jason Fleming before, we're good friends, so it's always fun to kick him about a little bit.